brought on purely because of the Christian belief that others were doing ill.
I don't believe those were justified wars. Those weren't just wars, I don't believe. So that's not the Christian thing to do, to wage unjust wars.
So you're saying... all right, I want you to realize that was like the majority of Christians during that time period.
Well, they would call themselves Christians, but a lot of people weren't actually Christians. That was the Catholic Church. So a lot of people were led astray for many years. But how do you know, getting back to our conversation about epistemology, I'm saying that we can't have evidence for anything unless we actually know what the true nature of reality is, right?
But the thing is, the only evidence that we can truly have as fallible human beings is through our personal experience.
But you can't trust that, because that could be illusory, and you don't know everything, so you don't know. There could be something that you don't know that could invalidate everything you think you know, right?
Exactly.
So you can't trust yourself.
Yeah,
don't put your faith in yourself. Put your faith in what God reveals in the Bible.
You're literally proving my point. So you are saying that nothing that humans believe can possibly be 100% true
if they're trusting themselves.
So you're trusting yourself that God believes.
I'm trusting in my mind, and at the same time, I'm also trusting in the belief that God created my mind.
Which is your belief.
Right. My belief. We all are operating on beliefs all the time.
Which you just said is fallible and can be wrong.
No, not if I'm trusting only in myself. If I'm trusting only in myself, then it can be wrong.
I trust only in myself that God does not
exist. And so you're not justified in that belief. I'm not trusting only in myself. I'm trusting also in what God reveals in His Word, the Bible.
But God didn't reveal that.
Yes, He did. If He didn't, you couldn't even make sense of what I'm saying to you right now. You couldn't even be justified in believing that I exist.
No, the thing is, God didn't reveal that. He had His human disciples write it down.
He spoke through them.
Okay.
Yes, He inspired them to write down what He wanted them to write.
Okay.
That's how, and if He didn't, then we wouldn't have revelation from God concerning the true nature of reality, and we could never know. And you wouldn't be justified in believing that I exist to communicate with right now.
No.
So knowledge is justified true belief. You need to be justified in believing things to be true. You're not justified if you're trusting in a limited finite consciousness.
Observation and through clear evidence.
But you don't know that you're observing reality, right? If you're trusting only in yourself, if you're trusting only in your own mind, then you don't know. But I'm not trusting only in my own mind. I'm trusting in what God says about minds, about humans.
You're trusting in a 2,000-year-old text.
How do you know He's imaginary? How do you know,
how do you know what I'm thinking is imaginary?
Well, again, you're not justified in trusting your own mind because you don't know everything, but I'm not trusting in a limited consciousness for truth. I'm trusting in the unlimited knowledge of all-knowing Yahweh.
You're trusting in a belief that a omniscient being out there has determined your life for you.
He has determined everything that happens.
I am trusting in a belief that I determine my own life.
But who's I? You don't even know who you are. You don't even know what I am.
I know who I am.
No, you
don't.
My
name is Duncan. My name is Duncan. I live in Crystal City. I see this. Oh,
that could be illusory.
Oh, yeah. It definitely...
So you don't know.
It definitely could be.
You're making knowledge claims, but you don't know.
Wait, so you see this, right?
Yeah, because God created my senses to see it.
Yeah, it's called Crystal City Restaurant.
Yeah, God created my senses to be reliable so I could glorify Him in the world, to be productive for His glory. But you don't have that belief.
All right, I'm sorry. We're getting hostile right now. You see the same thing I'm seeing, correct?
Yeah.
Says Crystal City Restaurant, Gentleman's Club.
Yeah.
That's a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
There's a car right here.
Yeah.
We have the same senses. We see the same things. We can agree that these are physical things. In our vision, we can observe them logically. Correct.
I mean, because you don't believe that God created your senses, you have no reason to believe that you're actually perceiving reality correctly. The difference is
that's why I'm trying to agree with somebody who does, you know. So that's why I'm trying to say, you see this, like you see these cars right here.
Because my worldview is true, and God created your mind to perceive reality correctly.
All right. So that's why I'm trying to,
God created your mind. That's why you can perceive reality correctly. He wants you to perceive reality correctly.
Okay, so then if he wants us to perceive reality correctly, then why would he allow a strip club here for us to perceive? Why would he not just not let this strip club be here?
Because he's ordained everything that happens for his own glory, to reveal his attributes and show his power.
So that seems like something that a power-hungry dictator would do.
Well, God already has all power, so God does whatever He wants. There's no way to judge God.
Okay, thank you. You just said He has no wants, which you.
I didn't say He has no wants.
Yeah, you literally just said that. But
no, I didn't say that. Maybe if I misspoke, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, maybe I.
He has desires. He has desires,
which are wants, by the way.
Sure.
But it still doesn't change the fact that if God was good, as we all think He is, why would He create so much strife and mayhem in the world?
Because He's the standard for good, and there's no standard for good outside of God by which to judge God, and so whatever He does is automatically good. So He defines what good is.
So you're saying children dying in wars is good?
As part of God's plan, yes. In an ultimate sense, it is.
No,
it's not.
At that point, literally, I have nothing else to argue with you. If you say
God has determined that it's good for His glory.
Literally, if you think children dying in wars is good, we have nothing more to say.
Well, you have no way to prove that it isn't good.
I do.
Show me how it's not good.
Terrible.
Show me your standard for morality.
It's children dying in war.
Yeah, God tells us that it's bad for humans to kill other humans, but ultimately God uses everything for the good of glorifying Himself. God uses everything for the good of glorifying Himself. God uses evil things for the good of glorifying Himself.